Hello.
Hello. We hope that hola. We hope that you can hear us okay because we're using a completely different laptop,
Yes.
a new one. So yes, we'll just have a little chat, I think, and maybe. Oh, look, someone's popped up on saying that we've gone live. Shall we join that and watch it?
No,
Yeah.
I
No,
think
no. Let's not bother. Yeah, they're a load of old cobblers, isn't
Yeah.
they? Right.
Morning, JP. Morning, Leo.
Yes, morning.
Hopefully there'll be no farting noises this time, like last time when we used it.
Well, we used a microphone, like a separate microphone thing, and it farted, didn't it? So yeah, unfortunately, it had a bit of
Yeah, it was
wind.
the microphone.
Yeah, well. But yeah, so we'll have
we'll have a little waffle.
we'll witter, yeah.
Yeah, how is everybody on this fine freezing cold day? Is
Yeah.
everyone having million tales?
Yes.
Wrapping all their Christmas presents are brought and wrapped.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Right, okay. Now we've established that one.
Morning, Mother Dearest from JP. That's weird.
Mother Dearest.
I think that's what Leo normally says.
Yes, so basically, preparations for Christmas. I did all my Christmas shopping in one go the other day off of the internet.
Because you're a voucher lady.
Because I'm a voucher person. So basically, nice, easy presents, Potman cards, job done.
I've still got a few left to get.
Yeah.
I've got to wrap them.
Yeah. I think I had to buy like separate because my sister's in a Pokemon card, so I bought one of those booster packs. You know the ones, but
if she's
yeah,
watching this, she'll know now. Won't be surprised anymore.
no. But I asked her what she wanted, and
okay.
She wanted that, so it's fine. Secret Carper says afternoon, peeps.
Hello,
afternoon to you.
Carper.
Yes. So she wanted one of those, and it's been delivered, so I'll go and find that out in a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for our Christmas shopping, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
Just a few more bits.
I might attempt to throw some Christmas decorations up at the weekend. I don't know yet.
She's just going to stand in the middle of the room and go like that.
Well, I might as well, because the cat's going to bit them all down anyway.
Yeah.
Our cat hates Christmas.
Yeah.
Hey, Ian, you're right.
I mean, with him, you do need to have stuff that's really high up, don't you?
Yeah.
Because, well, it was the Christmas tree debacle.
We don't talk about
hilarious. If I'd have thought about it, I would have actually recorded that because it was really funny. You know, I think it was the fact that you kept getting up and put the Christmas tree back where it should be, and then you kept just jumping at it again. It was really funny. And it was a tiny kitten as well, so it was really funny.
Yeah, so, we're fine, thank you, Ian. We're just talking about getting ready for Christmas at the moment, and our sales haven't been too bad. eBay's been a bit quiet, but Etsy's been on fire. Nobody wants to buy cups, apparently.
I think in the last couple of days we had several sales on Etsy, which was quite nice, really. Because basically there is a lot of stuff on there that is just little bits and pieces.
Yeah,
as
well. We've done well over 150 in the last 2 days since we last placed. So
yeah.
For some reason, Etsy's where it's at. I thought it'd be all over eBay with toys that I've listed, but not very many of those have got at the moment.
No, but Etsy is kind of, it's all ceramics on there, really, isn't it? There's a few like wooden ornaments, but it's mainly ceramics anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're selling quite well.
Yeah.
So it's quite surprising, really.
But we've got a sale on our Etsy store for 20% off at the moment, which might be why the sales have increased. We've also got a sale on a lot of our eBay stock. So if you want to have a look, please do. We're on eBay. All the links are in our description thing anyway.
Yeah, all of our sales have been through the Christmas sale we've got on there, actually. So yeah, they've all been through that. Yes. So yeah, we're going to talk today about eBay. So we need to talk about eBay.
Also, we missed out a prize when we did our raffle the other day. We missed out Lainey's lovely necklace. Lainey donated this lovely silver necklace with a heart. I have got a picture of it. Bear with. How do I share the screen?
No, you need to present at the bottom, and then you can share the screen. There you go.
Share screen. And it's this.
Yes. So this is what
that's the necklace that lovely Lainey donated. It's silver.
Yeah, and I believe I called that the Heart of the Ocean.
You did,
didn't I?
Indeed.
Yes, I did. So that is the one that unfortunately was missed out. I think what ended up happening was it just got, I think it got deleted off the wheel by accident.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah, I'm going to draw that probably at the end of this live stream. Yeah. So if you didn't win a prize, there's still a chance, and I'll try and contact everybody. Most people have. I think Porky's, we haven't had anything from them.
No.
So if anyone knows Porky's discounts, let them know that they won something.
Yeah, and just get in touch.
So hopefully everyone who won has received, or people let us give me their details earlier on, have received their prizes by now.
Yeah.
I know that JP had his this morning, Lainey had hers yesterday, so
yeah. So should we crack on with the subject? So today we're going to talk about eBay, and from the title of this video you can see it's going to be about GPSR, fees, and it's going to be about Vinted model. Now we don't mean it's somebody who's going to be modelling.
People, one of them women who press their clothes on Vinted and purposefully like show their nipples and stuff.
Yeah, they stand in the mirror and they've got like a nice top on but nothing else, and they're standing up the mirror like taking a photo. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
We're not talking about those.
We're not talking about those kind of models. No, we're talking about the way that they manage the sales and stuff like that.
And how eBay are panicking and trying to copy Vinted.
So,
in our opinion, allegedly.
So,
all of what we're saying is our opinion and stuff that we've got from over the internet. It's not legal advice. You know, come to us for legal advice, then you want your head read, really, don't you? I wouldn't.
Yeah, so this is all just stuff that we've observed and basically that has been rumbling on for the last few months.
Yeah.
And we're just going to kind of talk through, how we felt about it and what's going on, that kind of stuff. So we'll kickstart with GPSR.
Yeah. I think everyone's probably sick of hearing about this by now.
Yeah. But the first that we noticed about GPSR was the fact that we were listing and we noticed at the bottom of the screen was the GPSR stuff that you need to put for listings. That was the first, I think, that we actually realised something was going on.
Yeah, because eBay just like to spring things on you without any explanation. It was like, be GPSR ready by the 13th of December. I was like, what? What's that?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Just a side note, I've just had an Amazon delivery, but whatever.
Buy from small people, don't buy.
Yeah, but buy from eBay sellers, small
businesses.
Because we do as well. We do that all the time, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
I mean, I have tried to get most of my presents from smaller people. Not like small people. God save children. I have tried to buy all of my Christmas presents from small businesses.
She's very tired today.
I haven't slept again.
No. So basically that was the first we noticed, was the little box that appeared at the bottom of listings that said this is all the information that you need to give. So I think we didn't panic, we were just confused off the bat. Just like, what the hell is this? So we watched some videos on YouTube. I remember watching a specific one about GPSR itself, so not relating to eBay or any other platform. It was just a video about how GPSR works. Once I had woken up, no, but I kind of got to the end of it, and it just replaces another safety regulations thing that was about since. Yeah, I know. That was about since around the millennium. So basically, they've changed it because of the fact that loads of people sell online now, so it has to be covered. What was that?
Morning, Chris. Afternoon, Chris. Even JP says you can't list a Robin Hood treetop as a Star Wars Ewok village. Then. In my defence, it's made by Kenner and they reused the model for the Robin Hood that they had used in the Ewok village. So it was an easy mistake to make.
Yes.
He's a piss taker, isn't he? Hi, Limelight Vinty. Have you had your raffle prize yet?
Should we just have this as a chat with the chat rather than what we were going to talk about?
I'm in trouble again. But
yeah, it keeps going. It keeps veering off topic. You say,
oh.
You don't have to do that. Just stay on topic, sweetheart. Come on.
I'm like a little puppy. I swear. Look. No one's going to be here for serious chat. Just piss about.
All right, then. There you go.
I can't read. No, but yes,
Can't say it.
GPSR.
Oh my God. GPSR.
GPSR.
Was that what you just said?
Yes.
Should we talk about it?
Let's talk about GPSR.
So yeah, we watched some of these videos and we watched other resellers' videos on the topic.
Thank you, son.
Yep. Yeah, so basically, we watched some videos on YouTube and stuff about it. Other resellers were talking about it and all that kind of thing. So we tried to do our own research about it, didn't we?
You did. I did. Okay. I did best, and I just thought
ignored it and hope it went away. But yeah, so I did some research about it myself, and to be fair, the mixture of information that is out there or was out there on the subject was ridiculous because it was such a jumble of information that was available, and everybody had their little things they were speculating about and panicking. It's essentially what I think happened, especially since because of this panic, people considered switching off the EU completely. Yeah, didn't they?
Whenever eBay announce anything, the community at large goes into a mass panic, don't they? And it's like
they have a habit of doing that.
Yeah,
some people,
and there's all this information, different information coming from all these places, and there's always that one person who's like, "Oh, this is awful. It's going to ruin my life," and and dramatics and stuff. And I know that eBay is a lot of people's main source of income, but for the most part, they're not just going to, implement something like this that's going to effectively ruin everyone's business, aren't they? Because it would ruin their business. So they're going to try their best to give us the right information and stuff eventually.
The impression I got was they weren't 100% sure themselves.
No.
So I think anything that we got from them was kind of a bit jumbled because that's what they would kind of themselves.
Yeah.
They were just there was so much information. I don't really think they were knowing exactly how to implement this properly. So they weren't able to give us proper information from the very beginning because it was all just a jumbled mess of information all over the place.
Yeah.
So the impression I get is they didn't know what to say to people.
So they said nothing.
Yeah, so I think essentially they put out information that they knew about at the time, but it didn't make much sense to anybody else.
Yeah.
So unfortunately we kind of all had to wait, which is exactly what we did, isn't it? We just were like, no, we're not going to panic. We're going to wait and see how this unfolds. And obviously today is GPSR day, isn't it? It's the 13th, it's Friday 13th. Obviously.
It's also Jason Voorhees day, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, so today is Crystal Lake Day. So obviously what we're going to, we're all having to know, well, we all thought we would be implementing this, didn't we? Like everybody thought they would have to put all this information in from today onwards.
But for the first time ever, my approach of just thinking, oh, well, we'll see what happens, has actually worked because it doesn't really apply to most resellers at the moment.
Because originally they said it's not going to apply if it's antiques.
Yes.
So it's not going to apply to that. And I know a lot of other resellers were saying the same thing. If you sell antiques, don't worry, it won't apply to you. But what happens for people who sell everything else, sort of the vintage and the modern stuff? So what's going to happen with that? Well, people were just like, we don't know. So yeah, we just took a step back from it, really, took a back seat on it and waited for the more information. In all honesty,
we completely forgot about it until we saw Nick and Andrea's video. Got a spat over my face. Nick and Andrea's video popped up explaining basically what it was. Forced on eBay by the EU, the only thing I'm thankful about Brexit for.
Let's bring that comment up. There you go. Yeah.
Yes. Hello, Donna's Crafty Creations.
Yep. Friday the 13th, indeed. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Jason Voorhees Day, you said, didn't you? Yeah.
But I mean, if anyone hasn't seen Nick and Andrea's video yet, which I'm sure you probably all have, it's really helpful because basically we don't have to do anything because we don't have. It doesn't apply to anything.
We were getting on to that, weren't we? I think. We've got notes here, but you know.
I can't read.
So basically,
keep going.
Glasses. So basically, there seemed to be a lot of panic about it. They're at home. The glasses are at home. There you go. So there was mass panic about it. So people were switching off EU as a destination to send stuff to. There was confusion as to what it applied to. So whether it was just more modern stuff or vintagey stuff, and how their sales would be affected. And everybody, I have to put it this way, shit themselves about it, didn't they? Let's face it. They absolutely crapped themselves because they genuinely thought this was going to actually really affect their business in a massively negative way.
And eBay didn't do anything to kind of help that, did they?
I don't really think they between their initial thing of putting a little bit of information out there, nothing was even drip fed information wise, was it? Not really. And I know I looked on, I think there was stuff on the community board and there was stuff on Reddit, and people were like, oh, how will this affect me? People were just kind of panicking.
Yeah.
Because I mean, to be fair, we sell a lot to America and we sell a lot to the UK. We sell very, very little, apart from on Etsy.
Etsy, we sell a lot to like Germany and France, don't we?
But on eBay, we sell very little to the EU. And I think we've only had a few of those sales, really. But Etsy is the one where we sell to the EU more, but we had nothing from them. No, not a thing.
So I'm still in the dark as to what happens on Etsy. But
same as anywhere else.
But to be fair, unless it only applies to things that were manufactured or made. From today's date, if it was tomorrow's date.
So then what we did after that was we recently read in because they eventually eBay put up some frequently asked questions, and at the very, very end of that was one that said if you haven't applied GPSR to stuff, your listing will be hidden. So it's like, okay, so hidden from the EU, removed for sale to the EU. So it was like, okay, and then it says, basically you don't need to do anything, we'll just do that. And then when we recently watched Nick and Andrea's video, it turns out that they will hide it from the EU for sale to the EU. They will also hide it in general.
And not just the EU, also Northern Ireland, isn't it? Northern Ireland
which is considered part. Yeah. So basically they will hide it for sale to the EU, but they will also potentially they'll hide it in general until you put the GPSR stuff in. So they will force you to do it. And then it was like, well, that's crazy because, how much of this will that apply to? How much of our stuff will be hidden? And apparently, none of it. None of it.
Yeah.
Not a single thing, really. Unless, of course, like you just said, it's manufactured from the 13th of December onwards.
Yeah, so it's going to be quite a while before anything that personally we sell is going to be, it's going to meet that criteria because we sell mostly vintage toys now, or old stuff basically. Yeah.
So basically, if it's a sort of thing where from now on you go and maybe when supermarkets they have deals and you go and buy loads of the newer stuff, if it's manufactured after today's date, then you probably need to put that GPSR in, otherwise you can't sell to the EU. But then again, if you don't bother, it's really weird, isn't it, how it works? But for us personally, and probably for a lot of other people who sell vintage and retro, it won't apply to any of it. So this talk of it applying to antique or not applying to antiques, not applying to certain categories, turns out to be, I have to say it, a lot of bollocks, because it doesn't really apply to any of that. It doesn't apply to any of it, does it? Not in that sense.
Unless it's how it goes. We just lost a viewer because you swore.
Bollocks.
Yeah. You are live on YouTube. Please do not say shit or bollocks.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, what were you saying?
I've forgotten.
Okay, good. Right, okay. So yeah, Nick and Andrew's video was really handy because
Thank God for Nick and Andrew.
Well, they seem to have the main line, don't they, to eBay, and they talk to people up at eBay HQ, and ask them questions directly. And I know they said a lot of people put questions to them that they took to eBay, which is good,
yeah,
isn't it? I think they run off their feet with that. To be fair, I get that impression.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, it just doesn't apply. Doesn't really apply, the GPSR.
So we don't need to panic.
So we don't need to panic. So all this initial panic and everybody pooping themselves over like, do I need to put these details in? Turns out, just don't panic.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah, just kind of chill out and wait for more info.
Like eBay, we don't really know stuff till the very last minute. So I mean, I understand the panic. I'm not really. I just kind of take it as it comes and hope for the best, really.
Yeah.
Which doesn't usually work in my favour. I've got to say that this instance it did.
Well, I did talk about maybe we should turn EU off, but then we were like, well, why? We don't really know what we're turning we don't really know why we're switching it off. No. Really, we don't really know what the point of that would be.
No.
So let's move on from GPSR because I'm sure that you've all heard enough of that. So we'll move on
to the next scandal.
And the next big scandal of the year was the fees that private sellers, they were allowed to sell for free. And lots of people again panicked.
Yeah.
They had another panic, didn't they? Thinking that it would ruin their eBay business, because if private sellers were selling for free, there might be a sudden influx of more private sellers, because it's like, wow, this is great. Let's all go to eBay to sell all of our stuff. So I think businesses on there were kind of going, oh crap, they're all going to head, private sellers are going to be in bigger numbers on there and people are going to buy from them.
Yeah.
But we waited for more info, didn't we, on that?
Yeah.
At the time, we kind of hung back a bit again and were like, well, we don't know enough to be panicking. Not really.
It doesn't seem to have affected our sales massively. I haven't noticed a massive difference.
Not particularly. I mean, I don't even think I've really noticed, like, when we've been listing stuff, the amount that's on there doesn't seem to have gone mental. It doesn't seem to be that there's a ton of stuff.
No.
Not in the categories that we've been listing anyway,
I haven't noticed any different. I don't know what you guys think. If there's has anyone noticed their sales decline drastically since they got rid of the fees for private sellers?
Yeah.
I really wouldn't say that we had. Not drastically.
But anyway, so then obviously we got more information, which was that eBay were going to basically placate, the business sellers who were paying subscriptions for shops and fees still, and
fees and this fee and that fee.
And all sorts of money.
Yeah.
So they rolled out for free selling clothes. That's what they did.
Yeah, which didn't affect us. We probably we've got about 3 clothing items listed at the moment.
Pretty much.
So it doesn't really affect us.
Yeah, so because we don't sell that sort of stuff, it didn't really apply to us anyway.
JP's just said a drastic increase in lowball offers. We have had that actually as well, haven't we? We've had loads of lowball offers, but
actually, to be honest.
And a lot of cancelled orders. I don't know if that's anything to do with it, but recently we've had loads of people ordering, then 2 minutes later cancelling, ordered in error. And we've had a lot more of that than normal. And I don't know if it's Christmas or
and returns.
Yeah, returns.
Actually, I have noticed there has been not a huge increase, but enough of an increase for it to be like noticeable. So basically, we've had more people saying we want to return things.
Yes.
For what are random reasons.
Side rant. Return yesterday. Some guy messaged saying that he brought an item from us, and nowhere in the listing did it say it was this for an adult or for a child or whatever, any of that information. And he said, oh, it's too small for me, I'm going to let my grandson have it. Then he messaged back and said his grandson doesn't want it. And then he opened a return and put I am not as described, even though it was exactly as described. but now we have to pay for his postage, and it's just unfair. I want eBay to sort this out.
To be fair, I know a lot of resellers and us, we sometimes complain about these silly messages that you get on eBay. Is it this? Is it that? Will it fit adult, children, blah, 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 all that crap. But basically, if someone's not sure now, if I was looking at that umbrella, I mean, I'd never buy an umbrella off eBay, but if I wouldn't buy an umbrella full stop, really, but if I was looking at that and I wasn't 100% sure, and I knew that they did adult and teenagers or kids sizes of umbrellas, I would message from the very beginning.
And to be fair, an umbrella to me is an umbrella. I know there's bigger umbrellas like golf type umbrellas, but this was an umbrella, one of them handheld ones that kind of pops, an automatic one. I can't remember, it was futon or futon, or I don't know what it's called.
But futon.
he kept calling it futon, even though that's not what it was called. What it's called. But it was big enough for an adult. It was big enough for me. So I don't know.
Maybe he just had like ham hock hands or something like that, and he was holding it. Yeah. Okay, so we have a comment here. The free fees for private sellers did kill off my board game spares shop as they chased to the bottom in pricing, and it was no longer worth my while. But it was only one of my shops, and I moved on. Yeah.
And that's all you can do, really. Yeah, exactly. Because eBay aren't going to, listen. They're not going to listen to us that we're there. Us businesses, are they? They're not going to suddenly say, "Oh, actually, it is affecting your business. Let's reverse that decision."
I think to be honest with you, if businesses started leaving eBay in droves, they may look at it. They might, but I don't honestly think that they would. I mean, we're not here to badmouth eBay, though, are we? To be fair, we're just here to kind of do a little.
If you've sold on eBay, you know what eBay are like, and we don't need to say anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, I think if people left in droves, then they'd have a problem with it, wouldn't they? Maybe. So this one says, buyers claim not as described, so that the seller pays postage. Yeah, I did kind of get this impression that he was doing it so he could get the perks of doing it that way. I understand false items not as described can be challenged with eBay, but I've never done it. Yeah.
But is it worth it? Because if you challenge it, are you then going to just get negative? And it's only a £12 item or something like that.
Yeah.
Hello, Joe. I will get your raffle prize sent out today, Joe. I haven't done it yet because I didn't get your address until later on.
So we've got this other comment. Had my first cancellation yesterday. Sent an offer I accepted, but just as I finished buying the postage, he messaged to cancel because he'd made an offer for the same item with someone else. Yeah. I remember we had someone like that. That was probably about a couple of years ago now, wasn't it? With the Funko Pop, there was a Labyrinth Funko Pop we sold.
God.
And from the very beginning, she bought it, and I think it was something like 70, 80 quid, so it wasn't a real cheap one, But she noticed that we'd added tracking, so we'd posted it out, and then she instantly went, I want to cancel, as soon as we'd put the tracking on. So it was like, well, we have actually just taken it to the post office, so unfortunately it's now gone. However, if you receive it and you want to return it, then that's fine. We'll do it that way. So nice and simple, really, from the point of view of, although we can't do it now, we can do it when you get it, So then she I noticed because I kept checking the tracking to see if she'd received it, and I noticed she had, and then literally within 10 minutes of tracking showing it is delivered, we got a message saying this was not left at my address. And it's like, well, how do we know that though? How do we not know that you might be trying to say this to get your money back, but you still want the Funko? We don't know. I'm not accusing anyone of, well, I am. Let's face it.
In that case, she was trying to scam us.
And I went kind of, I mean, I didn't go ballistic, but I did tell her straight, like, look, we've tried to help with this, and I feel, this is why you do the contact with customers, I feel that you are basically yanking our crank on this one. And she was absolutely like determined that she didn't have it and stuff like that. And I said, well, it might be with a neighbour, you know, benefit the doubt. It might be with your neighbour. No, I don't want to go round to knock on my neighbour's doors. Like, well, what? I can't drive down to your address to knock on all your neighbours' doors for you. That's just not possible. You need to go and ask them. But she then filed a claim not received. We updated the tracking. It got closed in our favour. And then the next thing you know, 3 months after this happened, she was like, I want you to send me proof that it's with me. 3 months later, have you been like in a coma for 3 months? You've just woken up and you've just gone, right, that's it. You know, like, really? Okay. But anyway. Oh, yeah. This is a pretty common occurrence, isn't it? So electrical items don't work. We had one of them, didn't we? DVD player.
Oh yeah.
And the woman got it, and the next thing you know, it didn't work. But it was buyer's remorse because we received it, tested it, and it was absolutely fine, believe it or not. Oh yeah. So I remember with your video with the chicken that was returned smashed to pieces. Do you get extra care when sending breakables? Yeah.
We touch wood. We haven't had any issues since. We wrap things so well. We brown paper, bubble wrap, packing peanuts.
Literally everything.
I take better care of the rebels than I do with my own children. So
anyway, back on with the fees. So basically, we weren't considering. I've got my notes here if you know rustling. So yeah, we didn't consider at the time when they rolled out these fees changing from a business to a private account, did we? We just kind of waited to see what they were going to do, like with this fee thing. But then the next thing, we heard that eBay was contacting business sellers who were trading under accounts. So they were saying, you now need to set up as a business account, and you need to do that because apparently eBay were reporting to HMRC, and we considered this to be like, well, it's not going to affect us because we're already trading as a business. We've already tax registered with HMRC, so it's not going to affect us. But then I do get this impression this was again rather a lot of panic as well.
Yeah.
You know, and the trouble is there's a lot of whispers about stuff, isn't there? You know, a bit of a George Michael scenario, being careless with his whisper. So basically, like, you know, people kind of going, oh my God, they might do this. And someone else hears that and thinks they are doing it and stuff like that. And I just kind of get the impression that people talk to other people and it kind of becomes bigger.
In my opinion, my humble opinion, if you're a business, you should have a business account.
Yeah, well, any particular reason?
Because you're a business. And you should present yourself as a business if you are a business and you're not a private seller. But that's only my opinion. It might not be even Alexis's opinion. I don't know.
So so we heard that was all going on, but again, it wasn't going to affect us, was it?
No.
You know, because we were registered as a business already. HMRC already knew of the existence of the business, so it was just like, well, you know, whatever. But it was, I think, more the fact that private sellers had no fees and we were getting all the fees. And then people were saying, well, it means that eBay are relying completely on business sellers to pay for stuff, really, because of all these fees. Yes, but we have heard that free close fees ends next year.
It's beginning, I think it's the end of December, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone can confirm that. So there were resellers on who have YouTube, so I'm not going to mention any names.
No, be really careful with this one, would you?
Careful. Kind of bragging about the fact they use personal accounts, so they've no longer got any fees. I think that might have rubbed people up the wrong way as well.
I think there was some stuff about that, wasn't there? And people saying, "Oh, well, I'm a private seller and I don't care because I get free. I get all the money for what I sell." So it's like, well, you know, whatever, you know, that's up to you. I hate to say it, but this whole thing of like, because not being funny, but when you have a YouTube channel, you are very public and you are putting yourself out there, and people like you and people don't like you. So I think when you go ahead and you say things that are a bit controversial in the moment, you leave yourself open to people not like what you've said.
Yeah.
And that can then mean that could cause you a headache further on down the line when you least expect it.
I mean, some people don't like resellers on YouTube as a general rule. They think that we're giving away secrets. I mean, if you watch us for secrets, things you don't know, then you're silly, because we're just here to have a laugh, basically.
So Jimbo has said, personally, I think business is about making money. If you can get away with selling on a private account, not pay fees, that's good business, as long as you pay your tax in an eyeball.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's true, isn't it? Fair enough. If you're all above board as far as the tax man's concerned, then
yeah, because that's the main thing, isn't it? Because having a personal account on eBay isn't illegal, but not paying your taxes is illegal, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's only two things. What is it? There's only two things that are certain in life: is death and taxes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and obviously it is a mix kind of mix of opinions, isn't it, on stuff like that? But we'll walk away from the fees, because obviously, everyone was kind of again shitting themselves about them at the time.
But are we on to the new thing now?
Oh yeah. So you noticed a report in the Sun.
I don't read the Sun.
Now, didn't the Sun report on, was it the fees?
Yeah.
And they got it right. Yeah.
But in the Sun, I only know this because I remember the reselling group on Facebook, and they had a link to the Sun. I don't read the Sun newspaper. If you do, that's fine. I just don't. Anyway, but apparently in February or in the new year, eBay.
Did I write down the date?
I don't know.
No.
eBay are going to allegedly going to change it so that for private sellers, when they sell an item, the buyer, the person who buys the item from them, then pays fees, just like they do on Vinted. So they're switching to the Vinted model. But apparently that's only for the private sellers, and that's going to level the playing field a bit. So people who are benefiting from the no fees are now going to have that added thing of the buyer having to pay fees on their item. When there's a business seller, when the buyer doesn't have to pay fees. Does that make sense?
I did put here that it was from the 4th of February.
Gently, I don't want to get into trouble. I'm a very opinionated person.
Yeah, and unfortunately, some of the things that come out of Jen's mouth can get her in a little bit of the shit, shall we say?
I mean, if you do want to hear my personal opinions and a bit more,
don't ask her, because she,
subscribe. You could join our channel as a membership, and we'll give you an additional video.
No, we won't.
You'll hear.
She will. What she'll do?
Hear what I think.
What she'll do is she'll give you the extra videos where she just rants on and on and on about certain subjects, giving her completely unfiltered opinion on everything.
You'll love it. But I mean, to be fair, you can join for 99p a month to this channel, and you get free emojis, one of which is a stick. So what more could you ask?
Yeah. And if we are going to make these sort of members only videos, you'll see me in the background with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Either to my head or yours, I'm not sure yet, but anyway. So this Vinted model, which is not the sort of model who has a nips out in the mirror, but this is the sort of model where the vintage uses, basically. I did notice somebody had already put a comment about the new year.
Oh, Donna. Yeah.
So this was Donna. So in February, private sellers have to buy postage through eBay, and also will hold back funds until items delivered. Yeah, so it's the Vinted way, isn't it? And that is because I think eBay is pooping theirself about the fact that Vinted is quite a popular app now, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, and eBay. Hey, JP signed up as a new member.
Yes.
Hey, our first member.
Yeah.
Yes. What was I about to say? I've completely forgotten. I've lost it. I got so excited about having a member to our channel.
I don't know. Yeah. So you've talked through the Vinted model though, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to say. eBay have been such a big site and commodity for such a long time. They haven't really had to share their platform, have they? But now there's all these like Depop and Vinted, Interior coming in, Etsy. What? Obviously, the emoji doesn't work.
So basically, JP's now become a member and wants you to do these videos
fine,
where you
no
rant
problem.
and rave about all sorts of stuff. You really are going to do those.
No.
Honestly.
Not for 99, maybe on the higher tier membership.
Why have I not highlighted the word stick? Is it
showing,
stick emoji.
Is it showing the stick emoji? It just says stick on our screen. But maybe that's because we're on StreamYard. But anyway, yeah, eBay weren't used to having such competition. They've been, the place to go for stuff for such a long time that they haven't had to change things so much. But now we've got these other companies coming in, and people getting wise to the fact they don't have to use eBay as their sole place to sell stuff.
Yeah,
they're having to shake things up, and they're having to look at different ways of doing stuff to get people back, or not to lose people in the first place, really.
Yeah, pretty much, I suppose. But I mean, this was one idea you came up with yesterday, is that it would level the playing field.
Yeah.
Do you want me to read this for you, because you can't see without your glasses?
Left them on the bedside table.
So buyer pays the fees via so a private seller, the buyer pays the fees. So that particular buyer who has to pay the fees via the private seller might opt to buy from a business seller instead, because they're not paying the fees.
Yeah.
Was your
theory. People who have business accounts were having to compete with private sellers who could have lower prices than us because there was no fees involved. So it might level the playing field a little bit. Yeah. In that respect. Yeah. But I have no problem with people who do have private eBay accounts. Yeah.
Well, it makes no difference to us, to be honest with you. No. Here's a question for the chat. It was recently, I think, on one of their lives, Nick and Andrea, and I think it was Jammy Dodger. They both said that they have the lowest basic level of shop subscription. And we were just wondering whether, in the chat, whether you have the basic shop subscription or whether you do anything that's bigger than that and more expensive, because I know that some businesses on eBay are quite big, so they might have the what they call that, the anchor store, and all that sort of really expensive stuff. But like, do you have the lowest subscription possible? And do you? So Ian has a basic shop.
Because for years we've had the medium, haven't we? It's like £80. No, we didn't.
No, I think we started on basic, and then we went up to whatever the next one up is. We went up to that, and then we went back down to a basic, and then we got rid of it completely because we ran our own website. Try to send that when you're drunk. And then we you got a pop-up on there, haven't you? There you go. And then basically,
Ian, you're not basic. I'm sure you're wonderful.
So then when we went from the website back to eBay, we had a basic, went up to a medium, we stayed on medium, but it's like, what do we realistically get? Because we don't list a lot anymore.
We've got about 600, just over 650 items at the moment,
which I'm hearing is quite standard for a lot of people to only have, say, a few hundred, not even 1,000 items.
I suppose if you have a basic shop, because you haven't got all of those thousands of free lists, hundreds of free listings, you're more particular about what you list. Yeah. So you won't be just listing any old crap.
Yeah, any old toot.
Yeah.
Oh. Got another. Okay.
Remind me later.
There you go. I'll remind you in an hour. Sorry, it's just wanting us to install McAfee. For any of you who actually could be asked to know that.
Yes.
But yeah, what were we talking about again? So it was, it's about the shop subscription, isn't it? So and I think we are kind of debating, because you do get a £10 packaging voucher.
Woo!
Yeah.
But if you're paying £80 a month for a £10 packing voucher, it's a bit silly, isn't it? So I think we're probably going to look at our listings, probably reduce down the amount that we've got.
Even if we have to, we might not have to.
We might not have to, and then just go down about.
Maybe. Which makes more sense, doesn't it? Because it is reducing how much you spend, and obviously we already spend on an office, so that's a chunk of money gone, isn't it? But then you've got the shop subscription, Well, that's another chunk of money. However small £80 seems to people who maybe run a bigger business, to a smaller business, it makes all the difference.
And we had a wonderful Christmas present from our landlord yesterday. They increased our rent by £50 a month, which was lovely.
So any savings? Yeah, so we need more savings.
So if we can have 49 more people join up to our subscription, that will pay the extra money.
But we, I mean, well, we knew that was going to happen anyway eventually, didn't we, to be fair? But yeah, so we'll go on to our final thoughts and then we'll bugger off and actually do some work.
Yeah.
So I think you mentioned yesterday when we were doing our notes that there were a few years ago people were panicking over packaging that was being sent to Germany, which involved buying a packaging license. But not much came of it at the time. So I think you established the first rule is to not panic, and when any info kind of gets out and about there, it's generally a case of people will whisper to each other and say different things to each other, and it muddies the waters.
Yeah.
And it's best to wait for official information.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, was pretty much what you said, because I'm having to read this for you because you can. But
not that I can't read, I just haven't got my glasses.
Yeah. So that's it, really, isn't it? I suppose it's the fact that when this information finally sort of comes out to available to the public, everybody reads into it different things maybe and panics about it.
Yeah, I mean, in the new year we're probably going to look into Vinted Pro. We were waiting to see how it pans out, because at first there was loads of issues, weren't there, with NI numbers being shown and accounts being blocked and stuff. So we were holding back just to see, to let everyone else be the guinea pigs, basically.
To be fair, Jen was poised there with her phone going, "Shall we sign up to it?" And I'm like, you know what? If I want my NI number displayed to the whole world, sure, we'll sign up. Yeah. Because it was just like, well, we don't really want that, do we? To be honest.
Jimbo's just had his raffle prize.
Ah, yes.
Lovely. I hope you enjoy it, Jimbo. Lovely. Thanks for supporting the charity. I'm waiting till next year or when I hit the 1K mark.
What's that for?
For Vinted Pro.
Yeah.
Because obviously you can sell on Vinted as a personal person.
She can have a private account. I mean, I've got a private account on there, and I'm getting through my t-shirt collection, but that's my own personal t-shirt collection, and I do find it really handy for stuff like that, and you get all the money for it as well, which is lovely. You do get the full amount, and obviously the buyer pays postage and all that, so it's actually quite nice. So I can understand why eBay keep up with that.
Yeah, the only thing that lets Vinted down, in my opinion, is their customer service or lack thereof.
It is a problem when anything goes wrong with the transaction, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd be a bit nervous of selling anything, over £50 on there.
I mean, like AI and Autobots are great. Never. But stuff like that, when you need to speak to an actual person and you're just getting auto-generated replies that tell you generalized information but really doesn't apply to you sometimes, it is frustrating, isn't it?
Yes.
Pinky in the brain. What have I got on stage?
That's me and Alexis. You can decide who's...
I've got Kurt Cobain on mine, look, on the front cover of NME.
Talking of t-shirts, we are going to launch some t-shirts soon. We don't think anyone's going to buy them, but we're going to buy them.
Yeah.
And obviously they're very funny.
I sat there for minutes yesterday designing them. Honestly, to be honest, they're well, some of them are quite funny.
They're very funny.
But obviously we're not gonna mention it yet.
Oh no, we're not mentioning it yet.
Well, no, not. You can mention it.
Oh, okay.
No. What I mean is, we're not going to show the design yet.
Oh no.
We'll just let them kind of get out there and.
We won't have a big launch because
Yeah.
We're not,
Yeah. Well, they're just for fun.
We don't assume that people are going to actually buy them. They're just. But if you want one, you buy one.
Yeah, if you want one, they're just a bit of fun. I mean, to be fair, we'll probably end up selling two, and that'll be one for me and one for her. So
Jim mostly works with his son, and everyone at work calls him Pinky in the Brain.
What was Leo's idea for the t-shirts?
I can't remember. What was your idea for the t-shirts, Leo? I can't remember.
So this is the message, because we can display them now, so everyone can actually see what we're talking about, which is nice. What was your idea for the t-shirts? I wasn't going to be sick. I just got a bit of a burp there. Right.
Charmed.
Charmed.
I have no idea. You know me, I'm like a goldfish. My memory's terrible. So I have no idea. You'll have to remind me later.
So yeah. So another final thought, because we are Jerry Springer now apparently, is if you're doing everything above board, like with a lot of the stuff, I think people were pooping themselves because they weren't or whatever. If there's no reason to panic if you're above board, really, especially like with the private seller, business seller debacle. You know, if you're already doing stuff above board in the way that counts, you've got no reason to panic, have you? To be honest, so
the sign on the wall next to the door would be a good idea.
Oh, well, with the woman stood in front of the rude words, that one,
or on the door.
That one, no, but you can't see the one on the door because it's covered in coats. This one here, yes. Although that is probably someone else's design, and I don't know whether we'll get a slap on the wrist for that, would we? Oh, I don't know. Okay. This. Does it say the sign on the wall next to the door? It is this one. This one here.
What this?
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So I just put here, if you're above board, there's no reason to panic when it comes to eBay enforcing you to become above board. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And try and just concentrate on what you're doing. Don't worry what everyone else is doing, because that's when the mass panic starts, isn't it?
And I think that goes for pretty much loads of aspects of it, is that if you concentrate on what you're doing and your own ways of working and your own things that you know work, if you concentrate on that and not aiming to be like, I want to be like one of these really big resellers, not mentioning any names, but I want to be like the next John Luke. Well, not
not mentioning any names.
He's a big he's a big reseller, isn't he? And like, so if you're aiming to be like him, then you need to be aiming to do what you're doing, even if that's your end game, to get to that stage, don't you, really?
Yeah.
But like not kind of getting all fretful over like, well, we need to be like this person, we need to be doing what they're doing all the time. Because what works for one person might not necessarily work for other people anyway.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be the next JP. He's a cheeky bugger, because I put on Instagram about this video and I put the song Changes by Ozzy Osbourne.
Did I say JP?
No, he's JP. You said the other bloke, John Luke.
John Luke, yeah.
I did the song Changes by Ozzy Osbourne, and he said that because we're women of a certain age, that's what we're going for. Cheeky bugger.
Oh God. Yeah. Anyway, so basically, with some of the changes that some of the menopause that's happening, with some of the changes that happen, some can actually go in your favor. So like with the panic, the panic that sometimes happens is a case of like, well, actually, to be fair, some of it can work for you, potentially, like the Vinted model might that might work, and if stuff our way.
And I think if people were panicking and switching off the EU, then for the people who didn't panic and switch off EU,
they could just switch it back on again.
They could do.
I think once you switch it off, it's not permanent. But yeah. So last but not least, and then we'll do this extra raffle prize. Is some people. There are some people, right, who really don't like things to change. came the change, right? They don't like things particularly to change, and it unsettles them anyway. So there has been a lot of stuff that has changed, or people have been panicking about and kind of spreading all these kind of bits and pieces of information all over the place, which has caused people to go, oh, this is changing, but I don't actually know exactly how it's changing properly. So what is going on? What the hell is going on? And this can cause panic in itself, in and of itself, can't it? When people don't really, they know something's going to change, but they don't know how, and they don't know when, and they don't know why. And they kind of then start going, what do I do? What do I do? What am I doing? I don't know. I don't know anymore. But this is essentially similar to like all jobs, I suppose, is that you do need to be a bit adaptable, don't you, to stuff, I suppose. But then it's about waiting for more info from the people who know more about it, which you would hope in some jobs would be management. But like it's just kind of waiting for them, really, waiting for the people who are more in the know to let you know, and then you can start to adapt as well, can't you? Really
keep calm and carry on.
And obviously the main thing is just to keep yourself informed, but don't listen to all the information that's out there. Get yourself a source of information that's good.
yeah
that's a good one.
And
and
we just don't listen to all these whispers. And
we do know how Nick and Andrew do work sort of side by side with a lot of the eBay stuff, so they will take questions to eBay, and they seem to be quite reputable when it comes to stuff like that. So they will just take the questions, get them answered, and then kind of report back. So they can be quite a good source of stuff, because they do go and talk to eBay about it, don't they?
So if you've got any confusion, just watch their latest video. I'm sure you all have anyway.
That's it.
So that was us, really. We are now at, hold hard, 716 subscribers. When we get to 850, we're going to do a giveaway. And I believe Alexis was going to do a special prize, weren't you, Alexis?
I mean, yeah.
So if you haven't subscribed and you're watching this, please consider subscribing, press the thumbs up and put on your notifications. We're really close now to getting to our magic 1,000 subscribers.
We need to draw the raffle prize.
We need to draw the raffle prize
before we say goodbye.
If we entertain you, if we made you laugh, or if we've said something,
if we made you cry,
I'm sorry.
And if you like crying,
but please subscribe. Get your friends to subscribe. Get your dog to subscribe. Your auntie's goldfish, whatever.
Yeah.
Them also to subscribe, and we'll draw the raffle now. I don't know if there's many people in here who who had raffle tickets, but we'll do it anyway.
Yeah, and if you're if you see somebody wins the raffle and you happen to know them, or you know how to get in touch with them, is just give them a message or something, please, and just let them know actually you've won a necklace.
Yes. So
and
shall
we get that to. So yes.
Just to remind you, this is the necklace that we can.
Okay, you haven't presented the screen.
How do I do it again?
You go to the bottom where it says present.
Share screen.
That's the one.
Share screen. And it's this one.
Yeah. So this is the
necklace that we somehow got deleted and didn't get drawn.
Disappeared into the ether.
Yeah.
You don't get the sofa. Lovely. You don't get the sofa in the background. No. You just get the necklace.
Okay, so I won't bring the raffle spreadsheet up this time because it's got people's addresses on it now, and that would break confidentiality and all that stuff.
Are you sharing that screen, by the way? So don't press on the raffle spreadsheet by accident.
No, I can't. I'm not sharing, am I? Right, are you all ready? Present.
Share screen.
Share screen.
And then go your number picker at the top. Yeah.
Share. Right.
Here we go. How are we going to be able to see who won? The addresses on the spreadsheet.
We can see. I just won't share the screen.
Go over to that raffle spreadsheet.
Stop sharing. So number 69 is the winner, and that is Jimbo Resell.
Yay! So we know you're in the chat. There you are.
There you go, Jimbo. You won that lovely silver necklace from Lainey.
Yes. So if you want to just, which is lucky here, actually,
because we've already sent stuff to him.
So we'll put that in the post again for you today. Yeah, well, yeah, Lainey. So Jimbo was also suggested married to reselling, and they give some good advice. I do notice they sometimes go into the intricacies of like some of the products that you can buy to help you with reselling.
And I did an interesting video on bubble wrap, I believe.
Oops. Why? Okay, hang on. Let's hide the comments. Yeah, so they do have a tendency, they'll buy products like you say, bubble wrap, and they will measure it and they'll tell you which are the best people to buy from. So yeah, there is stuff like that as well. You know, there are various sources for information.
Yeah.
Not just YouTube, there's probably like maybe people on the forums as well. Maybe. Yes.
But yeah, that's it. That's us, really. Done our hour. Done our time. Hello, Mike Tongue. I think you're new and you keep saying that we remind you of a Carry On film. So far, we've had people say we're like Bottom, like Rick Mann and Nate Edmondson. Carry On and Morecambe Wise. So I'll take all of them. It's a massive compliment.
Or French and Saunders. There's another one. There's another one, isn't there?
French and Saunders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it really for this week. So we will get the raffle prize out to Jimbo, and we will
that's us.
do another video at some point. We did notice, actually, we did put out a video called Weird eBay, and we noticed that they were we said about if we get 50 likes we'll do another one. We've got over 50 likes, so there will be another one.
Yeah, basically. Maybe we'll do Weird Facebook Marketplace or something, or Vinted.
Yeah. We'll have a look through, shall we? Various sites, see if there's weird stuff, and then we'll just Mason. So we'll do another one of those videos as well. Yeah. And we have got some ideas for some other ones as well, actually, haven't we?
Yeah.
Which have just completely, my mind's gone blank on what they are, but we have, yeah.
Donna says, are you gonna buy at auction again? Yeah, we bought from a toy auction. There was another auction yesterday I was supposed to buy from, but I thought it was today, so I completely missed it because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, so it won't be the auction that we were going to, which was local.
We've given up on them.
To be fair, the stuff that they sell is hit or miss, basically, and we get lumbered with quite a lot of what I can only describe as detritus that we can't really do much with. And if we are trying to slimline what we're selling on our store, then it's not really advisable to buy from them.
No.
But yeah, we do buy. We buy from other auctions, and I'm sure there will be lots of stuff appear at least sort of maybe once, twice a month. Yeah. And obviously I still love the Lego. I've got actually Lego to unpack from an auction as well. So yeah.
But if there's any videos that you'd like to see, any ideas that things that you'd like to see us doing, or ones that we've already done that you want to see more of, just let us know. But everyone that hasn't like it.
Yes. Yes. Apparently. And it makes us very, very happy.
But not as happy as 850 subscribers.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it. Yeah, that's it. We're going to go because we've got posts to do, and we've got to get on with.
Yeah, and I'm losing my voice now as well.
Yes, so we'll leave it there.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed our little natter. And we'll see you in the next video on Monday.
Yes.
Thanks a lot. Merry Christmas, and hope your sales are awesome.
Bye. Thanks for watching. See ya.
How do I end it? I don't know how
do you end it? Bloody hell, it's a bit extreme, isn't it? So, there's an end stream button. Anyway, bye.